So we're here for another backstage interview at the Metals Investor Forum, and I am joined now by Keough of Evergold. Kevin, thanks for taking the time to shed a little extra light on the story right now. I mean, Evergold is still a new story. You've been trading for a little while now, but it's still a new story in that you haven't had the opportunity to really get on the ground, at least in a drilling operation, and test these projects that I've been excited about for some time now, since you first told me the story at least a year ago. So why don't you start by just highlighting what you're so excited about, where you're drilling first, and you know the main points that get you excited about that target.
Well, Gwen, I must say the thing that's wonderful about this business, the early pointy stage of the business where you get to put the drills onto these virgin targets, right? That's truly exciting to me. I could have operated as part of as a cog in a big wheel for the major companies. I started out with Anglo and De Beers and Dawes, but what really turns my crank are these early stage exploration plays where you do get to test for discoveries on virgin targets. When you really think about it, there are not many careers that you can pursue where there's that discovery element, right? You could be an archaeologist, maybe a scientist, and you can be a geologist, and you can drill these things. And I mean, it is exciting to think that you can put your drill on a target that's never been touched by man and maybe come up with something that's worth a whole lot of money and in short order. And that's what both our flagship properties offer, Snowball and Golden Lion. Although there was some drilling, at some distance to where we're focused in the past, these are untouched targets and they have real scale potential. So, yep, we're excited because I think with a little bit of luck from the rocks, from the gods of the rocks, we'll be able to really deliver something of potentially terrific value for shareholders.
So, I mean, you have some very pertinent experience identifying similar projects. I mean, the market well remembers GT Gold, which was a company that you and Charlie Greig started with a very similar premise, which is that you had identified a project that you thought offered a whole lot of opportunity at an early stage in terms of, there it was particularly a soil anomaly that was an incredibly strong soil anomaly, but that hadn't been tested before because of access and glaciation and all these sorts of factors. And, that worked out really darn well and continues to for those who are following the GT Gold story. Mm-hmm. The story is sort of repeating itself here. I mean, we're still at the early point in the story, but you went out and found similarly projects that hadn't had a lot of work done before, but where the sniffs are pretty promising.
Oh, for sure. By the way, of course, GT looks like it's starting to run again today, in fact, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, they're going to be delivering their first compliant resource estimate before the end of the month. So I was expecting it to start to move, and it appears to be. But yes, we had there a really compelling geochemical anomaly, which led us to the Saddle South discovery. It was actually geophysics that led us to the Saddle North discovery. That's potentially very similar to what we have going at both Snowball and Golden Lion. Snowball is just that one cherry with a really compelling gold in talus fines anomaly that we can put the drill on. We don't need to do any geophysics or anything else, just drill it. Whereas at Golden Lion, it's much more complex. We think there's a series potentially of intrusions, possibly all related, hypotheses that have come up from below. There are targets that we're going to put the drill on that are carrying very strong geochemical values in soils and in rock. And those are immediate targets, but kind of like over at Saddle, there's also some really interesting targets that we think are reflected, well, they are reflected in the geophysics that we have already done, like the magnetics, that give us a lot of hope for what's to come in terms of what's going on there. There are major structures and right next to these structures, what appear to be intrusions. And it appears these things have metal in them because we've sampled some of it. So let's see what unfolds, but it should get pretty exciting quickly, I think.
Absolutely. And let's just take us through the timeline. So which is happening first and what sort of timeline is it happening on for those who are keen to be aware of what to expect?
Well, the timeline is basically right now. It's here and now for both.
Right.
We've got Snoball underway. The camp was built. We announced that the other day. Everybody at the drill's been loaded on the flatbed and everything. It's ready to go. We could be drilling at Snoball by as early as the 27th of this month. We'll be setting it up, actually putting the drill on the pad, a day or two ahead of that. So it's running. Golden Line, large elements of the crew are already heading up there. We'll actually start to fly equipment in to Golden Line from our base, from our jumping off point, if you will, on the 23rd. And thereafter, drilling, well, because we've got some geophysics and geochemistry to do there as a lead up, we want to refine and just get a bit of a better handle on what's going on. It's really quite exciting. So we'll do that. But we could be drilling at Golden Line even ahead of what we suggested previously. I think I've talked about after the 20th of July. It could be sooner than that.
Exciting times. I mean, the short exploration season in northern BC always means that this time of year, just the anticipation starts to build. And I can only imagine what it's like from your seat, where you've been gathering these projects and putting the company together and telling the story for some time now. And now the rubber's about to hit the road.
Anticipation and trepidation.
In equal parts.
Uh-huh. But no, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Whenever you've got metal scattered around like that, not just blotchy, but, we're feeling pretty hopeful that we're going to, I'll tell you, we're going to hit the targets. I tell people we will hit the targets. Now, saying we're going to hit is different from finding a mine, but we will hit the target, so we've de-risked it to that degree. It's really just up to the drills to tell us that we've got the kind of intercept lengths and the grades, or some combination of the two, that make it a potentially viable mining scenario. So I think we'll be able to tell that within the first phase of drilling.
No pressure. Good luck out there, Kevin. We're very keen to keep up with the story, so thanks for laying it out here today, and stay in touch.
Thanks a lot, Gwen. Take care now.